Karla Faye Tucker's name remains etched in history, not only for her brutal crimes but for the complex and polarizing legacy she left behind. Born on November 18, 1959, in Houston, Texas, she rose from a tumultuous childhood to infamy as a convicted murderer, executed by lethal injection on February 3, 1998. She became the first woman executed in the United States since 1984 and the first in Texas since 1863. Her story, steeped in violence, faith, and controversy, sparked widespread debate and left an indelible mark on the criminal justice system. A troubled beginning. Karla's early years were shaped by instability and hardship. The youngest of three sisters, she grew up in a home fractured by her parents' troubled marriage. By the age of 8, she was already smoking cigarettes with her siblings. At 10, during her parents' divorce, she learned a devastating truth, that her birth was the result of an extramarital affair. This revelation marked a turning point in Karla's life. By 12, she was using drugs and engaging in sexual relationships. At 14, she dropped out of school and followed her mother, Carolyn, a rock groupie, into the dark world of prostitution. Together, they traveled with famous bands like the Eagles and the Allman Brothers. By 16, Karla was briefly married, but her life continued to spiral into chaos. In her early 20s, Karla became involved with the biker scene, where she met Sean and Jerry Lynn Dean, a married couple who would later play a pivotal role in her life. Through them, she met Daniel Garrett, a man 14 years her senior, who would become her lover and accomplice in a crime that shocked the nation. A night of violence. On June 13, 1983, Karla and Garrett, after a weekend of heavy drug use, decided to steal a motorcycle from Jerry Lynn Dean's apartment. They entered his Houston home around 3 a.m. with a set of stolen keys. What began as a burglary quickly escalated into a gruesome double murder. Inside the apartment, Garrett attacked Jerry with a ball-peen hammer, striking him multiple times in the head. When Garrett left the room, Karla remained behind. Hearing Jerry's gurgling sounds, she picked up a 3-foot pickaxe and struck him repeatedly. But the horror didn't end there. Karla then discovered another person in the apartment, Deborah Thornton, who had spent the night with Jerry after an argument with her husband. Karla and Deborah struggled, but Garrett intervened. Karla struck Deborah multiple times with the pickaxe, finally embedding it in her chest. Chillingly, Karla would later claim she experienced a euphoric high and even orgasms with each swing of the weapon. The murders left the Houston community reeling. The brutal nature of the crimes, combined with Karla's shocking confessions, dominated headlines and set the stage for a highly publicized trial. Conviction and transformation. Karla and Garrett were arrested 5 weeks later, and in September 1983, she was charged with the murders of Jerry Dean and Deborah Thornton. During the trial, Karla pleaded not guilty but offered damning testimony against Garrett in exchange for having one of the murder charges dropped. Despite her efforts, the evidence was overwhelming. In 1984, Karla Faye Tucker was sentenced to death. She became one of the rare women to face capital punishment in Texas, a state known for its staunch support of the death penalty. But prison would prove to be a place of transformation for Karla. Shortly after her arrest, she picked up a Bible from the prison ministry and began reading it. In her cell, she experienced what she described as a profound spiritual awakening. "I was in the middle of my cell floor on my knees, asking God to forgive me," she later recalled. Karla embraced Christianity, dedicating herself to her faith and becoming an advocate for spiritual redemption. Her newfound faith earned her the support of prison staff, religious leaders, and even some of the families of her victims. She married her prison minister, Reverend Dana Brown, by proxy in 1995, further cementing her reputation as a reformed woman. A divisive campaign. Karla's transformation sparked an international movement advocating for clemency. Her case gained the attention of figures like Pope John Paul II, televangelist Pat Robertson, and even conservative politicians such as Newt Gingrich. The campaign argued that Karla was no longer the same person who had committed such heinous crimes, and that her execution would serve no purpose other than retribution. However, the state of Texas remained unmoved. Governor George W. Bush, who had the power to approve clemency recommendations from the parole board, rejected Karla's final appeal. On January 28, 1998, her plea for a commutation to life imprisonment was denied. The final hours. On February 2, 1998, Karla was transported from the Mountain View unit in Gatesville to the Huntsville unit, where Texas executions are carried out. For her final meal, she requested a banana, a peach, and a garden salad with ranch dressing. On February 3, Karla Faye Tucker was led to the execution chamber. Her chosen witnesses included her sister, her husband, and Ronald Carlson, the brother of victim Deborah Thornton. Carlson, once a supporter of the death penalty, had undergone his own spiritual transformation and now opposed all executions. Before her lethal injection, Karla addressed those gathered with tearful sincerity. "I am so sorry," she said to the families of her victims. "I hope God will give you peace." She expressed love for her supporters and spoke of her anticipation to be face to face with Jesus. As the lethal drugs were administered, Karla hummed softly and gazed upward. She was pronounced dead at 6:45 p.m. Legacy. Karla Faye Tucker's execution marked the first time in 135 years that Texas had executed a woman. Her case continues to spark debate over the death penalty, redemption, and the role of gender and faith in criminal justice. While some saw her as a dangerous murderer whose punishment was justified, others viewed her as a symbol of hope and transformation, proof that even the most broken lives could find redemption. Today, Karla's story is a haunting reminder of the complexities of justice and the human capacity for change. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, it really helps us out. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Tap the bell to stay notified whenever we post a new video. Thanks again, and see you in the next one.